Warning! Warning! What you are about to hear may shock and disturb you. Extracted from the dusty depths of the cutting room floor, deep within the T.M.W.N.B Laboratories, comes this special bonus episode consisting of excised tissues from a previous episode of The Man with No Brain. Listen if you dare!
One last employment-related question for you.
Oh, okay.
Do you see a point at which you feel even you, Joe Buckley, will eventually have to get a job in this moment?
No, I mean, I'll get a job eventually. I mean, right now I'm essentially just waiting for a lot of the COVID type stuff to be over. I mean, right now, they've extended. No, they've already extended unemployment until November. So I mean, that's whatever the government at the very least thinks that COVID might be over.
Till November? No, it ends Labor Day weekend.
No, I've read November.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Maybe that one passed me by.
He's back on the computer now. I can hear him clicking away.
Well, I'm just looking. I'm looking for you guys.
Okay, but Joe, I don't think you've earned enough work street cred to say that the only thing stopping you is COVID from getting a job. I think that even after COVID's done and the unemployment dries up, I don't think you're going to be rushing to get a job. So my question to you again is, do you see the point at which you even think you will have to get a job? Like whether that's...
I understand. I'll have to get a job again eventually, yes.
I'm asking for a specific date, you think, or year. Like, because I'm assuming what your plan is you're going to wait until you use up all the money you've just earned over the last year before you get a job?
No. I want to save my cash.
Okay.
I mean, it's really going to depend on what the government says.
Let's just say that your unemployment dries up Labor Day weekend. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So what from that point, when do you think you're going to start looking for a job right after?
I would probably start like looking at what's available then after.
Okay, but you're not in a rush to get a job.
No, I wouldn't be rushing into anything.
Okay. So again, do you think that it's probably going to be when you've dried up all the money you've just gotten?
No, because I'm good about spending money anyway. I don't really waste my money.
Yeah, I get that, but you keep contradicting yourself. You say that it's not because of the money, but then here you say, well, I'm good at saving my money. So that sounds like your argument is, well, I am going to use the money, and then I'll go get a job.
No. Oh, and I just saw it's going to be up to 50 weeks now, and that's without another extension.
Okay. Well, either way, I don't know. But either way, you say you don't want to spend the money that you've accumulated right now in your bank account and that you are continuing to accumulate through the unemployment. But you also say, you're not sure when you're going to get a job and it depends on the government. What is the lowest? Do you have a number? You don't have to tell us, of course, but do you have a number in your bank account that is your stopping point where like, okay, because you said you want to keep some of it. Do you have a number in your mind where you're like, fuck, I need to get a job now because I don't want to spend any more of what I got? Is there a cutoff in your mind?
Yeah. I mean, I would probably focus on spending less than $200 a month. And if I can't keep that up, then I would look harder.
But that's okay. So that, yes, fine that you have a dollar amount that you don't want to go over in your expenditures. We don't know what your total is. That could last you 20 years for all we know. So you don't have to tell us what that amount is, but I think that you could guesstimate when you feel like you need to start kicking things into gear. So because I know you're thinking about it. Does it look like 2022, Joe, before you really start kicking it into gear? 23?
Yeah, it could be. No, it would probably be 2022.
Okay, so it's going to be
definitely not this year, though. It's definitely not this calendar year.
Looks like it's going to go until November, at the very least.
No, are you talking about unemployment?
Let's say it didn't. Let's say it.
Yeah.
Let's say it stopped in Labor Day, and you have $15,000. I'm going to say it stops on Labor Day, and when it stops on Labor Day, you will have $15,000 in your account. In your mind, are you like, okay, once it hits 7,000, I need to start looking, or once it hits 5,000 left? You know what I mean?
If that were the numbers, I'd be seriously looking at like 1,300 to 1,400, because like I said, if I've got money saved up, I don't really want to be spending all that money.
Okay, so
I would coast on it for a bit, but
once
your bank account hits $1,400, then you're like, fuck, I need a job.
Yeah, I think I would start seriously looking for something decent.
Because to you, that means you've only got a year left of freedom. Is that what that means?
No, it's because I've got like a decent head start. So it's like I've got money saved up now. I don't really want to blow through that. So
But that doesn't. I'm so confused here, Joe, because you right now, if unemployment dried up tomorrow, right now is the moment where you have the maximum amount of money in your bank account. It's not going to keep going up except for like birthdays and Christmas. So
no, I understand that, but it's like I got a lot saved up, so it's like you can afford to be picky for a while. It's completely fine to be picky for a bit.
Sure, I don't disagree with
Yeah,
that.
I
but
totally
why
understand.
drain it? If let's say you have 15,000, why drain it to 1,400 just to get a job?
If it's 15,000, it would be 14,000. I'm saying I would take like about 10% off it.
Okay. I get. I understand that better now, because I thought you were just saying literally 1,400, and earlier you said you think you spend about $200 a month, so that's why I was like, oh, you're within a year of being out of money, then you would do something about it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So it's nice to have money, though.
It's nice to have that cushion.
Well, it's nice to have it like saved up. Yeah.
Joe, believe me, I would love to have fucking money saved up, but I've got a lot of expenditures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just, don't get used to the idea of the free money. Because
this was a once in a lifetime thing. So
also you should just go get like a part-time job. Go make $200 a month. If that's what your expenditures are, just go make enough to not use the money that you have.
The thing of it is like so because
he's not gonna
everybody
work as if he's still getting money in.
No. Here's the thing,
So,
because
Joe,
everybody
you have no intention of looking for a job until you're absolutely not getting any income, right?
Yes, number one, it's not safe with COVID. Number two, because everybody is desperate for workers.
Hold on. I'm sorry, Joe. I hate to keep cutting you off. That's not fair. But you don't have the vaccine. You're choosing to not get the vaccine. So don't play this card about COVID. Okay, so either COVID is dangerous or it's not dangerous. Either the vaccine is safe or it isn't safe. So don't say that it's about COVID. It's not about COVID, buddy.
No. The COVID can still be dangerous, and the vaccine could also maybe not be safe. Those two aren't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine, but it's not. The vaccine is fine.
Yeah, it could possibly. Yeah, it could 100% be fine. It definitely could.
But so you at some point you're gonna have to make a choice. Either you're gonna go out into the world unvaccinated.
Well, yeah, actually, fuck you, Joe. You were just at a carnival full of families, and you weren't wearing a mask.
Yeah.
So you've just completely undermined your whole argument. And you're a jerk.
Well, why?
Because you weren't wearing a mask and you're unvaccinated. So
nobody was wearing a mask at the entire carnival. That
doesn't mean anything. You're saying that COVID is still a problem and you don't feel that the vaccine's safe. Fine. Okay, I'll accept that. But then you walk around without a mask.
Yeah. I mean, that's what the government says. The government says that COVID is still an issue. That's why everybody's dealing with it still.
So then you don't have to take up that mantle. You're choosing to do that because you feel like that protects you from the argument of, or the point that, Joe, you're being lazy.
Yeah, I don't buy I don't buy your COVID argument for not going to get a job, Joe.
My second part of the argument is yeah. Well, I acknowledge what you're saying. That's fine. Everybody can have their opinion. But my second part of my argument is because everybody is desperately clawing for workers at the moment, rates and like employment wages are going up, benefits are going up, all kinds of things are getting much better for workers, and that's because people now have the choice of whether to work or not.
Okay. Go on.
Yeah. So I mean,
but that's not going to be that way forever. It is going to hit a point where there's enough people now that are working. You may be late to that. That stuff may then start to regress if you're going to wait until next year.
Yeah. I mean, I think the longer people as a whole can hold out, I think the better it's going to be for everybody.
But Joe, they can't. Like that, their life is not yours. They have children. They're taking care of people and themselves. They need health insurance that they're paying for. So here's the real crux of this argument that you're building here, Joe. Joe, you just don't want to work. It's not the COVID, and that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
You have security. Your parents don't ask anything of you. You don't pay for anything. They bring you food. They wash your clothes. Like, you're completely insulated from all of this. Fine. That we've gone over this. We don't need to rehash it again. You just don't want to work until you feel like you don't want to spend your own money anymore. That's really all it is. The COVID aside, yes, technically you could benefit from what's happening now with, the economic and workplace system has been shaken by COVID. You could benefit from that, but you're still not going to run out to get a job. You're not going to go get a job just because they give you a little bit more money or they give you better benefits.
Well, I'm saying one positive of me holding out is it gets better for everybody else and maybe me in the future.
But that's not why you're doing it, Joe. That's what I'm saying. You're not doing.
That's one partial reason.
It isn't, though, Joe. It isn't. It isn't.
No, it is. I mean, I don't want to work, and also there's a little benefit.
Yeah, but that's what it is. It's that you just don't want to work, and that's okay. I'm not going to shame you for not wanting to work. I don't want to work, but I work because I have things I want in my life. That's why I work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but that's all I'm saying is don't if there's one thing that I would love for 21, since we haven't really done anything other than the trial, which was actually recorded months ago. They've all just been coming out. We really haven't done The Man with No Brain in 21 very much at all. No. So if there's one thing I want from 21 is I just want you to be honest about it. That's it. I'm not going to shame you for your honesty. I have to stop doing that because at least you're being honest, and I appreciate that. So I can't have it both ways. I can't yell at you and then say thank you for being honest. So
that's my job.
Yeah.
Good cop, bad cop. I'm gonna just bust your balls every chance I get, Joe Buckley.
Okay, I understand.
So all I'm gonna ask is don't say things to protect yourself from other arguments. Just say the truth. You just don't want to work. You're waiting until unemployment dries up, and then at a certain point, you're not gonna want to spend your own money. So you'll go casually look for a job, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that works out. Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
All right.
It's not loaded. There's nothing else beyond it. There's not a trail of punches coming over that it's going to hit you in the gut.
I thought there might be loaded nachos coming at me, and I don't like those because I don't like sour cream.
Joe Buckley. Well, there you have it. The Man with No Brain, continuing to dig into that gelatinous lump that sits on top of his neck, and we're finding new things. But Joe, like I said, one of the things that this phase 2 of Man with No Brain is going to entail to a certain extent is there's going to be more activity on your part. I want more experiences. I've enjoyed talking about this because it's something new. It's something new that you just experienced, and we're getting your ideas and we're getting your thoughts about it and filtered through you. And that's also part of the learning experience, is putting you out in the wild. We've observed you in a laboratory and your behaviors for a year. Now it's time to go out into the wild a little bit. Now we're going to observe you out in new things. So expect that, okay?
Oh, okay.
Expect
You're saying there might
assignments.
Okay. There might be a joking challenge later on this year.
A what?
Oh, that's whenever you stretch your penis out to try to make it longer.
Okay. No. So, Joe, a case in point to what Ryan was saying, I think that the trial series proved that there is an end game to your ability to make something funny. And yeah, and I'm not saying that it's just you. I'm not saying that everything about the 6 trial episodes relied on you. You can take that on if you want or not. But I think that especially that last episode, and we'll talk about this. I think Ryan wants to do a retrospective. But that last episode, you and Tad are on fumes. And we were fortunate enough that our side said from the beginning, we're going to play it straight. We're not here.
I wasn't trying to be funny.
Yeah, we're going to take it seriously. We're going to play it straight. So we didn't feel that pressure to try and make something when there wasn't anything. But you guys were wringing that dry towel, hoping to get a little drip out of that. And it was dry as a bone.
Well, I think Ted was disappointed that I took the plea deal. I think he wanted to really lawyer up.
Sure. Yeah. I think the fans are disappointed.
But that's not the Man with No Brain, though. The fans have got a taste of what we've been getting a taste of for years. That's the Joe Buckley. That's Joe Buckley in a nutshell. There's a lot of hot air. There's a lot of bravado, but when it comes time to showing up on time or doing this, that, or the other, Joe comes up short. That could have been more on brand if we wrote it.
Sometimes I give my friends snacks, and that's nice of me.
But Joe, you taking the plea was not giving us a snack, because we would have happily run that thing further into the ground.
Oh, yeah.
But what I will say is, like, my point about the job situation, I appreciate the honesty. You legitimately wanted that all to be over. And not because you didn't think it was funny, but because you were done with it. Like, you did not like the all of the microscopes and eyeglasses that were on you, then the telescopes. You were done with it. You wanted to be out from under it, and you did what you thought was best for you. And I appreciate that. Again, that's good for you that you did what you thought was best for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't quite sure, like, what if you guys had a smoking gun or not, which is why I took it.
I mean, Joe, like, it's the smoking gun. I think with our audience and the people who pay attention to this, it's all in what your own perspective is. To us, yes, we had plenty of smoking guns, but I think you and Tad would have found ways to argue around them because I don't I don't think you guys would have. Now, I'm not going to say you wouldn't play fairly, but I think that you move the goalposts all the time anyway. So it's nothing new to you. So you just would have moved the goalpost.
I was a member of the debate team in school. Yeah, I can argue with the best of them.
Were you really?
Well.
For a bit, yeah. It was like a mixture of like.
You never knew this.
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It was actually what it mostly was is trivia, but there was like little debate sections in it, so it wasn't really a debate team, but it was
Did you ever have to do an argument, like to debate something then?
Yeah, but it wasn't like pre-written. It was just kind of picked like random almost. So.
But you still had to form an argument, even you had to. I don't want to use the word improvise, but yeah, on the spot, you had to devise an argument and argue. So you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's a skill. So.
Oh yeah. Okay. Plus, also, I can just point out the window and say, "Quick, look at that! That might be Bigfoot," and then I can run out of the room. That's also a skill I have.
Mm-hmm. There's Joe Buckley. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
I hope everyone at home has enjoyed the Ryan Joe mouse tapping and microphone tapping sound show.
I'm sorry.
I'm fucking hearing.
I'm sorry. I could not hear it. I have completely voice silent headphones, so I can't hear anything at all except for you guys.
Are you still? Oh, so you're not. Your voice isn't coming through, but you can hear.
No. All I can hear is you. I can't hear anything else.
Yeah, another sign of a good broadcaster.
Joe, yeah, again, Joe, it's not. The microphone sounds whatever. I mean, if you can't hear that when you shift this way, it makes a sound, and then learn not to do that. That's one thing. But nobody asked you to click the mouse.
I understand.
You know what I'm saying?
No. His brain asked him to do it. Right? His brain told him he had to do it.
Yeah. He said, make sure to highlight the U.
How many downloads did you line up before you left?
But it's like only the box set, so it's like 7 films and every single special feature.
I don't believe you, Joe. I don't believe you.
No, that's all I need, because you can I've got like a seed box, it's called. So basically I pay to use somebody else's computer, and it's all on like if the FBI wants to go track somebody down, it's all on them, and they're in a different country, so they can't be touched. But like aspect of that is you can only have you can only grab like 7 or 8 things at a time. In terms of active downloading.
All the work that you go through just to download a movie, like
that you won't watch, that you won't enjoy.
That's the part.
I'll check out something from WKW at some point. I want to watch Chungking Express, so I'll watch
it doesn't have to be you want. You just do it. You just do it, Joe. Just watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, what's stopping you? What's penciled in tomorrow where you can't watch what you want to watch? Pick a title and watch one tomorrow, please.
Okay. Please? I can maybe do that.
Do it.
I could maybe do that.
You can't even commit to it. Like, that's terrifying.
It's 2 hours.
You've got a whole day of nothing planned. Like,
yeah. It just really depends. It really depends. Sometimes I get busy on the internet, you know.
Downloading other movies.
Yeah, or chatting with people, or just browsing.
But you can do that for 16 hours and you just take two hours to watch something.
Yeah. No, I know. But sometimes I just get like busy.
When was the last time you watched anything? And what was it?
From
completion to completion. Not from 11 movies and not from 11 movies.
Yeah. I just watched something with Tad. What was that?
Here's maybe an easier question, Joe. How many hours of television and film do you believe that you consume in a given month? Because I'm going to guess it's as low as 5.
Maybe like 15 to 20.
That is low.
Yeah.
That's movies and produced shows, not just videos of stuff.
Yeah. I don't really watch a lot of TV. I watch almost no TV.
So let's say that you are awake for 12 hours a day.
Sure.
So
that sounds reasonable.
For 30 days, that's 360 hours. So you spend you spend 4% of your awake time watching media. 4.16% of your time.
I watch and listen to a lot of media, but it's more like it's podcasts and like YouTube videos and shit like that.
Sure, but what is so important on your computer that you literally cannot sit down for 2 hours? You can't give your attention to one thing for 90 minutes. What is so enticing about the computer? Because we might just have to do a whole episode about this.
Okay.
No,
Yeah, it really just depends. It depends on
Joe, it doesn't
what
depend.
kind of mood I'm in at that. What kind of mood I'm in at the moment.
My question is about the computer. There's something so enticing about the internet and your computer that you literally can't tell us right now that you'll watch something. You just can't, because you know that there's something you want to do on your computer. What is it?
Well, the internet is infinite, so it's like browsing, it's checking things out, it's downloading. I mean, I'm making like a whole little archive for myself here.
And that's my whole thing is it's like, you don't care. Somebody may listen and think, well, I listen to podcasts more than I watch movies, or I listen to music more than I do, or I garden more than I watch movies. But in this case, we're talking about Joe Buckley, who one of his biggest activities is ownership and downloading of these movies, and then he doesn't watch them. And it's just, to me, as somebody who collects movies on a physical media level, yes, I do have probably 30 or 40 Blu-rays that I haven't watched. They're movies I've seen though. And I get them from sales and everything, and I get them to watch down the road because, it's a good buy right now. It's $10. I don't necessarily want to watch it right now, but I'm getting it because it's $10 and, down the road. A collection is for a lifetime. But I don't feel that you think that way. I don't feel that you look at a collection being for the lifetime. Like, just because I bought the Blu-ray doesn't mean I need to watch it today or even a month from now. But I know I want to watch it later on, and it's something I like and I enjoy. I don't think that you are collecting these movies to ever enjoy them. I think you're collecting them simply to collect them, or in your case, archive them.
Well, I think I'm like one of those like fat guys who has like 1,000 Blu-rays he hasn't watched yet. Because basically I'm owning everything I could possibly ever be interested in watching right now.
But Joe, there's no end
ever
game
watch
here.
them.
Yeah, you're not setting yourself up for.
Well, I'll watch some of them.
You're not setting yourself up for a 15-year stint of just enjoying cinema. Like, I don't know if you're ever going to see them. Like, I just don't think you would, because otherwise you'd be watching them now. Like,
yeah, I mean, I'm absolutely sure that there's movies on downloaded that I'll just never get to.
No, I think you won't watch most of it.
It's just the possible interest.
I think it's 95%, because why download something if you aren't interested in watching it yourself?
Yeah,
that's the crux.
Well,
I do
have an interest in like everything in my Plex. It's just, will this movie slot itself up before the 100 others I'm interested in?
Because I popped into your Plex the other day before Malevolent Movies, because it's on my Plex thing, and your name's first, so it almost automatically does that. And I saw you downloaded a couple of or maybe more, because didn't go that deep, some of the Hammer films.
Yeah, I got all the Hammer, all the like Dracula, Frankenstein stuff, all the Universal Hammer stuff.
Yeah, are you gonna watch them? Any of them?
I will probably watch either Dracula or Frankenstein, and if I like that one, I may move on to another one in that series. Yeah.
When do you plan on watching one of those?
See, that I'm not sure about. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
It's like I'll have to get to.
But it's so important that you get those downloads. It's like you have to get them, but then you're like, maybe I'll watch one. I don't know. That's the part that's Joe, just you, Joe, and I just can't. I can't. I don't understand.
The three of us are very different people. We're all very different. The closest equivalent to this conversation that I can think of for my own self is I have a tendency to say yes to things when people ask help from me, or they want me to do something, especially when it's related to filming things. I say yes to things when 95% of the time I do not want to do it. And because I don't want to do it, I do it poorly, and it results in worse relationships because of it. So through therapy, I've had to sit there and work through that. Why do I say yes to this stuff? I have to answer that question in order to help me say no. My life will be infinitely better by just saying no. It doesn't make me a bad guy for not wanting to help. It makes me a better person because I'm not going to make it worse for both of us. So I think you need to sit there and think about, why do you need to have this stuff, but you don't have the interest to consume it? You just need to have it.
Yeah, that's what I feel. I feel you need to have it. You're not having it to watch it at some point. You don't own this because you are going to enjoy it. You can say, oh, I may do something all the day, but like, I think it's a digital hoarding thing, and I'm not even doing a bit. I think there's some sort of digital hoarding situation where you feel you need to own or curate, in your words, all of these films because you know that they are important, or maybe you have an interest in them, but you have the interest more. I think you're more interested in owning them than you are watching them. I think you're more excited by having Christopher Lee's Dracula films than you are necessarily sitting down and watching them and then maybe reading about them and just enjoying them. That's how I perceive you, Joe, through this the experiences of knowing you.
There has to be some kind of.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I was a big DVD collector, so I would spend a bunch of money on DVDs and a bunch of space. And this completely took over, so it's like I have no interest in DVDs anymore. I'll just grab the movie and all the special features.
When you bought those movies, though, were you watching them? When you would buy a DVD, would you watch them?
I watched some of them, but again, I would buy much more than I would watch.
I'm sure that
I want a big collection.
This is further exacerbated, though, by the lack of money that you have to spend.
And the lack of effort.
Yeah. So
this is easy. You just click on it. You don't have to you're not worried about getting the best versions. You're just downloading whatever. If it says 4K, this must be 4K.
Joe, you're the type of person that only most of the time does things in some way in which you benefit. Now that you do selfless things from time to time, but this is a lot of work to download all this stuff. The money aside, it's a lot of work and effort to sit there and look through and coordinate and match whatever you're doing. There's some benefit.
Yes.
There's some benefit here to then just like a caveman being like, ooh, could smack rock together. Rock sound cool. I think that here's what my guess is that you have a presence online in movie forums that is so important to you. It's part of your personality and part of your being. We don't see it because we're not there. But I think that you must be in all sorts of forums. And you like to be the guy. I think you get satisfaction from being the guy that says you either have this stuff or you could give somebody access to this thing that's hard to find. I would
understand that. I would understand that, Joe. If that's what it is, you like being the key master for all of this, stuff. I understand. That makes I understand that. I'm just trying to figure out, like, the Colonel, being it's the man with no brain, trying to figure Joe. Between the need, the absolute, takes up your effort to download, to own these things, but then it's not necessarily to watch them. That would make sense to me.
Well, the biggest aspect of it is, I basically have a personal Plex library of more films than US Netflix does. That is all stuff that's geared towards me. It's all stuff I would be interested in. So, like, the half second I get into my head,
you're not sure if you're interested in because you haven't watched any of it.
No. But it's like the second I get into my head, like, I would like to watch George Romero's Amusement Park. It's done. It's on the server. I have it. I'll watch it this second if I get that in my head. So it's like it's all done for me already.
But Joe, I can respect the idea that you don't want to watch things all the time. Like, I get that. Like, I get in moods where it's like I will probably go 2022 without watching a war movie because I watched a bunch this year. Mm-hmm. So I can fully acknowledge that and accept that. But for you, it's all cinema. It's all everything. So you're putting in a ton of effort for this idea that you may one day do this thing, but I don't think you're going to. So that's why we're not upset with you for wanting to do this. We just want to understand.
I'm just trying to figure it out.
Why you want how do you benefit from this? Like, the idea that you could one day sit down and watch some random obscure thing that nobody else has access to. Like, that's a lot of work for that one thing. I can understand the obsession for this movie, that movie, this documentary, this work print, but this is everything. This is literally every single thing that somebody online has decreed as being interesting, obscure, or, critically acclaimed. Like, I'm looking at your library and it's 2,033 movies. I know it's more than that because Plex doesn't show me everything if it's in a collection. So you've got...
Yeah, and I've got my documentaries as well and my TV shows.
Yeah, so you've got literally hundreds of thousands of hours worth of stuff here. So again, do you, in your best estimate or best guesstimate, what's the satisfaction coming from in this endeavor? And I don't think Ryan and I can accept that it's one day you could sit down and just watch something.
Well, I mean, the biggest reason why I don't watch movies all the time is I'm not willing to watch a movie unless I'm going to put 100% into it. I won't watch something like paying 90% attention to something. So if I'm gonna be at 90,
And
I'll do a podcast.
You will podcast
Yeah, 'cause-
without giving 100% of your attention.
No.
Joe, no, you have to accept. You have to accept that, dude. No offense, I'm not trying to be a jerk. You have to accept that. You were giving some part of your brain to organizing your film library. That's just the fact of the matter. I mean, all of us do that from time to time. There are days where we're fucking tired and we're doing a 2.5-hour episode of Malevolent Movies we couldn't give a shit about until we have to go over our part and then just the review at the end. That happens. But like, that's what you were just doing, and it's the first non-trial episode we've done in months, and you couldn't help yourself.
Well, yeah, I just like clicking things too.
No, Joe.
Yeah.
Be honest. Just be honest.
It's going to continue to be a battle to get the a show dedicated.
Oh, Ryan cut out.
You were excited to play through your film library, Joe. It's fine. We get it. Like, we know you. We understand that. But we're trying to understand why the library.
Well, I like moving things and clicking things. I like clicking.
Joe, you don't like. I've watched you sit there patiently before because you're engrossed in the conversation. So I just can't buy it. I think that you wanted to do your film library. You couldn't wait till we were done recording because, hey, it's been 2 hours or so now. So I get it. That's fine. But just say that that's why it is. You saying I like to click things. It's like, okay, then just take your hand off the mouse and just tap your knee. Like,
yeah.
But Ryan, you cut out.
Oh, I was just kind of doing the same thing you were saying, about the, I don't know.
I just want you to think about it, Joe. Like, what is the benefit? Because if there's something that you don't want to tell us, then just say there's a component to it that I can't tell you because you might be fucking thrown in jail. Like, fine. If you think the FBI is listening,
you think I've got zoophilia porn?
Well, now I do. That's not at all what I was thinking.
No,
but you might be a part of online groups that's sharing this stuff en masse, and you're worried that you might say something and give it away. And who knows? Maybe the FBI is listening to this shit. I don't fucking know. But like, I don't know what your thought is on it.
I mean, the FBI is always trying to worm its way into our private groups and our work print trackers and stuff like that. I mean, I haven't named anything that I'm a part of, so I'm not too concerned about that.
Okay, so but is that a part of it then? Is that you just like being in the nitty gritty of this stuff? And let's just say it's arbitrary. Let's just say the way that your brain was formed when you were born, there's something about owning media, entertainment, that just clicks for you and you'll never understand it. But there's a reason why you still continue to accrue this stuff.
No, I mean, there is, one big reason is, like, the FBI, like, they shut shit down all the time. And there's a lot of obscure stuff that just ends up, hey, it's, there's still a torrent for it, but nobody's seeding it, and you can't download it anywhere. And now you just gotta hope it comes back up someday. So you missed your chance, you're not gonna have that movie ever.
Do you feel the same way about documents, about books, about pictures?
I mean, if it's stuff I'm interested in, sure. I mean, because it's just like I'm interested in all these kind of movies.
Your need to own movies, I don't think comes from love of cinema, is what I'm saying. So it's like, what I see is a guy with a humongous record collection who doesn't really listen to music that much, but he might listen to music and he thinks he might like blues a little bit. So he's downloaded every single blues record he can find. And he has it in his collection. And he's satisfied because he's like, if I ever want to listen to some old blues, boom, I got it. But the guy rarely actually listens to music. And from my point of view, I don't understand that. And that's why I'm trying to ask, because you do put a lot of effort into the accumulation. It's like, I'm going to use a record thing. If a guy is going out and putting in a couple of hours every day or multiple hours a week to acquire these records to put in his collection, but then never really listens to any of them, but he might someday, I'd still be like, that's so much effort for someone that doesn't seem to enjoy what he's got.
So Joe, your time on the internet, what percent of it do you think is spent on film collection, archiving, downloading, etc.? What percent of your internet time?
Probably 30 to 50%.
That's a lot.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm just trying to figure out, What is the
Well,
and I guess it's just the ownership. You like the idea of having access to this film stuff, even though maybe deep down you're not really that into the stuff you're downloading, but you might someday.
I mean, the biggest
You have a passing interest in this director because you read about him online, but the interest doesn't come because you watched him. The interest comes because somebody talked about him. So you might have heard Tarantino name drop him. So you're like, okay, this is something I might be interested in. But I don't see any. The joy comes from the collection, not actually enjoying the collection. It comes from the collecting, not the collection itself.
No.
Is that fair?
No, a lot of it is like I'll watch one movie from a guy and I'll be like, okay, I like that movie. I'll get his entire filmography. Like I have all of Michael Haneke's existing work that exists now, all his German TV productions. I got everything.
Okay,
I got every movie Michael Haneke made, and a lot of it's unavailable.
And that makes sense to me. So in my mind, that happens. Then when you've downloaded his filmography, then as soon as you can, or within relative, you watch another one of his films. But
well,
you don't
there's
do
always another director. There's always another one.
That's what I mean.
So Joe, are you just literally
fascinating?
Are you literally incapable? Is this just a problem with starting? You just can't start something. The thought of you just at random, just randomly picking a movie, like you put a spreadsheet together and you let it go, and here you go. You are going to watch 1998's Afterlife, okay?
Yeah.
Like, you literally can't wrap your head around just starting something. Is that part of it?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, I think I have, like, some anxiety about just kind of, like, just starting up different stuff. Because it is a lot more comfortable just to play a video game that you've played or, like, listen to a podcast or something low effort on your part.
Because I think video games and podcasts mean more to you than movies.
No, I think what it is I want to put so much attention on movies that if I'm not gonna be in 100%, I'm not gonna do it right then.
But Joe, you have all the time in the world. That's why it sounds like a contradiction for you to say that. You have all the free time in the world that you can't find even once a week to just a dedicated opportunity to watch one thing. Whereas the rest of us,
I said, I think I watch about 15 to 20 hours a month.
Yeah, I probably watch that in a week or two. And I work, and I do yard work, and I go grocery shopping. I do all these things.
And that number sounds fine to somebody that just is a passive fan. But you've said you've dedicated your whole life and you love cinema more than anything. And so when I hear, but I only watch 15 hours of movies a month, even though you are constantly amassing this collection, it's just the pieces to me, they don't click together. And that's why this, for me, this is as a person who does collect movies, but I do it because I love the fucking movies. That's why I love that. I don't buy How to Make a Monster just because I want to have it on my shelf. I want to be able to watch it, and I have watched it, and it doesn't mean I'm going to watch them all right away, but my reasons for owning this stuff are, at the end of the day, it's because I love the film. I love being able to watch it. I love just having it on. Sometimes I will watch 20 minutes of a movie and fall asleep, and then the next day I may not watch the rest of it. I've seen it before, so it's fine. But for that 20 minutes, I was in that world and I love it. And I don't know, we're just different in that respect. So that's why this subject is always, it's like it's my white whale. I always want to get the answer, the 100% kernel of truth from Joe, but maybe there isn't a 100% answer.
There is an answer that would satiate Ryan and I. And that is, if you said, I just like to archive obscure media that I'm worried could be lost to the world, and I want to have it for a rainy day where if the world asks for it, I can provide it, we would get that. But we can look at your Plex and see that that's not what it is.
That's a very mild part of it. I have about maybe 100 movies I would categorize as very rare, where they could disappear off the internet, but most of this stuff never could. It's got Blu-ray releases.
But if it disappeared off the internet, I mean, would it hurt you because have you even seen it? Does it mean do the things that disappear off the internet mean anything to you?
I'm very into the lost media hunt. I mean, we're always just kind of looking for things that
Who's
existed
we?
at one
Who's
point
we?
and no longer do.
Who is the we?
Well, there's a community for it. It's called Lost Media.
But do those people actually enjoy watching the lost media, or is it just the idea of unearthing it?
I think for the most part, for that, like, the hunt's always more fun than whatever the piece is.
So I think we kind of somehow got away from it, but I had asked you specifically, what is the online stuff that you're doing that makes this worth it? That's not the collection itself. Who are you talking to? Because that's you. Okay. So this is something that gripes me a tiny bit about you and the stuff that we do as our group is you constantly talk about the Discord. And when you say the Discord, because there are many Discords, you're talking about Tad's Discord associated with Let Me Tell You About. And the thing that bothers me about it is that you talk about it like everybody knows the Discord, like it's the hotspot. But you mean Tad's Discord for Let Me Tell You About because you have a presence there that elevates you above everybody else except for Tad. And you really like that. And that's fine. So what is that for you in film collection?
I mean, I'm not like a big presence in the scene. I mean, the big scene people have been doing this for 20 years. I mean, but like for the most part, the scene is pretty ingrained within itself. I don't need my help.
But would you like to be a part of that? Would you like to be a part of that upper echelon of individuals that are in the sharing community?
Yeah, I mean, it would definitely be good. There's like a lot of very, very nitpicky rules in the scene.
You see, you know this stuff, and we don't.
Oh yeah.
I don't know this.
You're one step ahead of everybody.
You download is mainstream as hell. All those Hammer stuff have been on DVD and Blu-ray in 14 different versions.
Yeah, so
you're not just trying to archive, obscure stuff or lost stuff. You're just grabbing kind of anything.
It's anything that I could possibly be interested in at any point in the future.
Yeah.
I think as much as I am always disheartened by the ends of these conversations, I think we will get to the root of it one day, Ryan.
That's my thing. I need to know. And maybe Joe will, maybe it changes. Maybe it always changes. Or maybe you don't know why you got to do this. Maybe you just don't know why. It's just this hunger inside of you to have all of this, all these movies and all of but it's not because you love the movies. That's the thing that's the thing for me that I'm trying to, because I know people who have physical collections that make your Plex collection look like the rental spot at Casey's. I mean, there are collectors out there.
Sure.
I know them on forums, and they've got 6,000 pieces of physical media. And I can't imagine. But some of these guys, yes, their idea is about the collection. So let's say a big movie comes out, like Godzilla vs. Kong or something, or a Star Wars movie that has 14 different versions. You got the Target version, you got the Walmart version. Those guys have to own every version. They've got like this endless supply of money, and those guys have to own all those versions. And those are the kind of collectors where I see you in that light a little bit. It's the ownership and the collectorship. Doesn't matter what the titles are. You just want to own it. And it's not necessarily, a lot of these collectors aren't even watching what they buy. And that's what I see, I think, a little bit with you, Joe. But at the same time, a lot of these collectors are also big movie fans because they're also having major discussions on these titles and what they think, whereas you don't really talk about the film stuff. So that's all. I'm just trying to take what I know in the cinema collector world and kind of find where you fit. And because you, like you said, you spend 30 to 50% of your internet time, your internet time is your time because you're pretty much always the internet. To put that much effort into something, I'm just wondering what the reason is, the biggest reason is. And it's just, I think it's, you just like the idea of being able to have it.
Joe, can I touch on something really quick?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm picturing you now, not as the man with no brain, but as a wall of an old house. And many people have come and gone. They've painted, put up wallpaper, etc. And it's chipping away little by little. So I think the most fascinating thing about this last hour of this episode is that we've learned that you just really can't quite nail it down. You can't at least succinctly explain to us why you have to have this stuff but don't necessarily watch it. But we have learned that you spend only about 15 hours a month watching media. Most of your time is on the internet. I mean, probably most of your waking time, if it's not with Tad or us, is on the internet. And 30 to 50% of that is the film collection side. So really, I'm starting to wonder now, are you just afraid to, not afraid, but I mean, maybe afraid, but are you afraid to be logged off from comfort, to just sit there with yourself? Is there something you're afraid to face there? Because for me, for a while now, I've been really sick of editing things, but my life has gotten so much better. So you would think that I would spend more time doing something I supposedly love. I'm just burnt out. And I've been burnt out from this year. I have a job that was fucking slammed because of COVID. So, and it's only going to be like this for the next couple of years. I have a lot of fucking work ahead of me. So I've been burnt out, but I have plenty of free time. I'm a 9 to 5 guy, weekends off. So I have all this time, but I have had no interest in doing stuff. Like, I just can't commit myself to watching a movie, to playing a board game, to buying a new video game and playing it. It's been really hard for me. But I'm also okay with sitting there with myself and also wondering why that is. So are you afraid to explore that part of yourself? Is there any part of you that thinks that?
I mean, yeah, I want to be comfortable all the time.
But is part of that keeping your brain locked in to the internet, to the movie collecting, to your video games?
No, I don't think so 100%, because I can be away from the internet for a while and be fine. It's not like I'm salivating at the mouth to get back online. It's
okay.
Joe, do you ever have stretches of time where you're not asleep, where you're not consuming, a podcast or reading about something, or you know what I mean? Just stretches of time where you're not engaged in anything necessarily.
No, I'm always doing something.
So you don't just kind of sometimes just sit and zone out.
So you are logged in. You're like you're tapped into something.
Well, yeah, I'm either doing something online or doing something in real life.
Okay.
Let's say you spend a week in your house and Tad and I aren't available. You're in the house the whole time. Mom's going to give you your chicken tenders, etc. Is there ever a time where you just sit there? Like, I'm not saying like you stare at the wall, but like for some reason, is there anything that you do where it's like, oh, today I just want to, I want to sort my magic cards, but I don't need to listen to something. You just sit there with yourself and your magic cards.
No, I would be listening to something at that point.
Okay. So it's constant. You're constantly like, you're blasting your brain with something.
Yeah.
Do you ever wonder why?
I thought most people that's what they kind of did.
I'm sorry to laugh at that, Joe, but it's you are a unique individual.
Yeah.
I tell you this, Joe. For years, if I went jogging or I went walking, if I didn't have headphones and I didn't have something to listen to, usually music, for that activity anyway, it would be unbearable. It would be difficult. I wouldn't go as long. But in the last, probably actually since COVID, but really a lot this year, I've taken up walking for long periods of time. And when I say long, I'm thinking I might walk for 5 hours. I might walk for 6 hours, and I've been doing it without headphones. I take my phone because I'm logging the miles, and that's it. I'm not listening to anything. I'm not looking at anything. I'm just walking and thinking and looking around and just observing what I see. And sometimes I'm out in the middle of nowhere and I'm not seeing anything, but I'm just like walking. And it's been not boring. It's actually, I find it's harder for me now if I'm listening to something than when I'm just walking with my thoughts. And sometimes I have no thoughts. Sometimes I'm just completely blank and I might be zoning out, and I walk for 3 miles and I'm just kind of like in a weird zone. But it's been really beneficial for me anyway to have stretches where I'm not engaged in anything but like whatever's around me, crossing the street, getting a drink, or just walking, saying hey when I walk by somebody. And I'm just wondering if you have any, like I said, it doesn't matter. It can't be, whatever length. If you have any moments where you're not actively engaged in any sort of consumption of a media, a video game, a podcast, etc.
No, I normally don't just like let my mind wander. I'm normally always doing something, whether that be consuming something or doing something. out in the world.
So that sounds to me like you're trying to keep something out of your mind. I'm not saying like a specific thing, but it's like like the concept of self-exploration sounds like something you have no interest in.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah.
Okay.
No,
I mean,
probably not.
is it because you're worried that it would have a negative effect on you?
No, I just got stuff I want to do.
Yeah.
But none of that is watching movies.
Well, no. Yeah. It's because I have to put effort into watching movies because I want to like analyze them and like put 100% attention into them and really make it a thing, like an examination of an art form. I don't just watch movies for entertainment. It is an art form for me.
Yeah, but that's entertainment. The word entertainment, if you're doing something and you're getting enjoyment out of it, you're getting entertainment out of it.
Okay,
Whether you're taking it at face value and just watching the explosions and marveling at the explosions, or you're marveling at the editing, or you're marveling at the commentary, you are watching the movie for entertainment because you're being entertained. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
because unless you're
sitting there, the only time I'm watching a movie and I'm not getting 100% entertainment out of it is when I'm doing my section on Malevolent Movies, only because in that case, I am pausing it. I am writing things down. In that case, but you're not doing that with a film. So you are watching things for entertainment. Whatever you get out of that makes you smile was the entertainment value. So it kind of reminds me, my cousin one time, my cousin was fairly overweight for years and years, and he's been in great shape now for many more years. But when he was in that overweight period of his time, if he couldn't have a large, and he said this himself, if he couldn't have a large helping of something, he wouldn't have any. So if he couldn't have, let's say, a pint of ice cream, he certainly wouldn't want a bowl of it. Almost like, he thought it was teasing him. If he couldn't have the whole box of Twinkies, he wouldn't want two. He just wouldn't. And sometimes it almost sounds like that with you. If you can't sit down and just watch the movie, although nothing is stopping you, but anyway, and watch the movie 100%, you're not even going to want to watch any of it. It sounds a little bit like that kind of thing to me.
So Joe, if you had something you wanted to do on a given day, and then like Tad or I called you and asked you to help us with something, even if it wasn't like labor related, and it might be fun, but it's only going to take 2 hours out of your day, would that just shut that shit down? Anything else you wanted to do, would it just be done?
No, I don't think so. It would just all depend on what it is. I mean, if the thing I was going to do all day was play 10 games of Binding of Isaac, like if I was interested in whatever you had proposed, I would go do that and play 7 games of Binding of Isaac.
Okay.
Well, okay. And do you see why, Joe, why I would think maybe you don't love movies as much as you say you do, despite the fact that you spend a lot of time downloading them? Because you have no problem spending hours playing Binding of Isaac, but you find it a hard time to spend 90 minutes watching a movie. So do you see why I kind of like meh when you say you profess to be this movie nut and you love it so much, but your actions don't show that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, like, Binding of Isaac is more of a passive thing for me. It's like you play the game, maybe you listen to a podcast while you're doing it, maybe you take a break in the middle of the run.
Are you saying it's difficult for you to watch a movie?
It's hard to be 100% engaged all the time and to get just kind of keep that, to get into that mindset.
But Joe, you had to play Binding of Isaac for the first time at some point, and then you let that become your comfort food. So with movies, it's a less of a commitment. It could be 40 minutes, it could be 4 hours. So what Ryan's point is that what you're saying about this difficulty to give yourself to the film, whether it's because you believe it's art or whatever it is, like you saying that you can only do that. I mean, literally maybe a dozen times a year, maybe a couple dozen times a year. That is hard for somebody like Ryan to stomach because you two are at the complete opposite ends of the movie going spectrum. You're both hardcore. Ryan's on the left, you're on the right, but Ryan is hardcore on the films can be a lot of things. They can be art. They can be fun. They can be dumb. They can be bad. They can be great. Oh, yeah. Because Ryan doesn't like it when I talk bad about my movies. He doesn't even like to go out there and dig trenches and bury the bad movies we watch on Malevolent Movies because he still understands that somebody cared enough to make it. Whereas you're on the other end of the spectrum where where you love the concept of lauded filmographies of directors and things like that, and you have to have them whether or not you're going to consume them. So you guys are on polar opposites. You're both extremes, and I'm probably somewhere, in the middle, maybe a little bit more towards Ryan's sides than yours. But hey, Joe, I've been having a lot of fun with Plex too, so I get it. But I've watched pretty much everything that's in my Plex. I mean, probably 99.9% of everything that's in my Plex. I don't want to own something unless I'm going to eventually watch it, and by eventually, I mean probably within 6 months.
Yeah.
So it's just confusing. And again, like the man with no brain, Joe is not the sun in the solar system. He is a stray asteroid flying around his own self-interest. We're trying to figure out what is the sun of that. What is the core of that universe? We don't know what it is.
Yeah, we've known Joe for years and have seen him in all manner of forms, from being participants in projects and partners in projects and just hanging out and all of this. And we still, there's a fascination with Joe Buckley, and there's a fascination and a frustration in that one. That's what makes him a never-ending topic, because we can't just put it, you can't just get answers and be like, okay, I get it. Well, I feel I know Joe now. And you probably can't do that with any human being, but with Joe Buckley specifically, plus he loves to contradict, and he knows what he's doing. You know what you're doing, Joe.
But humanity is a contradiction. I mean, everybody's a contradiction.
No, I don't want to hear this, Joe. I'm tired of that. What you like to make these giant, broad, generalized statements, and for some reason, this society is a contradiction. You say it all the time, but like you can't give me a cogent reason why you use those words in that sequence. Society is a contradiction. What is it? What is a society? First, just explain that to me. And then why is it a contradiction? You took that from somewhere else. Somebody said that. They posted it somewhere on the internet, and you love to say it. But why?
Well, I mean, I think what I just said was like people themselves are like a contradiction. I mean,
you're a contradiction.
Well, no, I agree with that. That's fine. But I think almost everybody is.
How am I a contradiction?
Well, I mean,
as a human being, how am I a contradiction as a human being?
I mean, would you be able to explain yourself perfectly? I don't know.
No, but I think that at my age and after everything I've been through, I can be very honest about who I am. And here, I'll throw you a bone, man with the brain audience. I love Joe. I appreciate Joe. I think Joe can be a lot of great things, and I think Joe can be a lot of things that frustrates me. And Joe can be frustrating in ways that he's earned it, like his time management skills and how he has no regard for other people's. But also, I can give Joe a hard time when he does not deserve it. And it's because I have an expectation of him that's not reasonable for his own self-interest. And also because I'm projecting things onto Joe because it's easy to do that. Because Joe's can be easy to get frustrated with, and it's easy to project things. And I think that Joe and I have privately worked towards a common understanding, and I apologize when I do things that are inappropriate. And I feel like we're on good footing right now. Is that correct, Joe? I hope.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
Okay, and I feel like I've been more honest about my shortcomings with you. So like that to me is I'm not being contradictory. I'm acknowledging my problems. Me being contradictory to be saying Joe's the problem all the time and ignoring my contributions to that, So I just don't think you even know what you're saying when you say society is a contradiction. I think that it just means something blanket to you, like, why should I even try? Or why should I participate? I think it's all bullshit. That's what I think you're saying when you say that.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, hopefully one day we can understand that. Why that phrase is very common to you.
Yeah.
Joe, are you having a good time?
Oh, yeah.
You finally got your pod, Joe. You finally got your pod.
Everybody loves to do therapy as a pod.
Have you been missing this, Joe? I mean, in all honesty.
At this point, this is what you get for the man with the brain, man.
No, I have been missing doing the show.
Okay. I mean, it's just hard, Joe. It's like, it's been so long since we've done this that it's like, did I think that we were going to get into these heavy-handed topics just because the Plex server got brought up again? No, I didn't think. I thought we were going to talk about Carney Day 2, but here we are. Like, it's really difficult to turn this valve off. And Joe, if you ever don't want to talk about this stuff, you have to speak up for yourself, and you have to.
I'm fine with that. Yeah, it
works out
for me.
But I'm just saying, I want us to be on the same page. If you don't want to do it, You just have
Worked
to
out for
say,
me.
not interested in the Plex talk, not interested in the film talk, not interested in the self-interest talk.
Yeah, okay.
So you don't have to do this if you don't want to. We do that
Oh,
has
yeah,
to be clear.
I understand that, yeah.
I just want to make sure that you feel like it's on equal footing and that we're not talking down to you. That we just want to understand it. Like there's plenty, and again, that's why I go to therapy. I'm not even having a breakdown. I've been going for 3 years. I love my therapist. I go once a month. I have a good time. I get to know about myself a little bit better. I want to improve myself. I don't want to just shut things out. I want to have a better understanding of what the world means to me and my contributions to it. And so, yeah, maybe it does sound like therapy sometimes the way Ryan and I talk to you, but it's not because we want to talk down to you. It's just we want to understand.
Oh, I get that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm asking you questions, Joe. I'm not necessarily. I'll be honest. My opinions on you and your love of cinema and your knowledge of it are not high, and they never will be. I've already accepted that.
Oh, sure.
The way you just don't. You don't really care that much, and that's fine. I've just the Plex thing. I've always just I want to know, but yeah, Joe, I'm just asking you questions. What your answers are your own, and whatever your answers are, that's fine. If you turn around and tell me I just download the shit because I can and whatever, fine. I just would have my answer, and I'm just always looking for an answer because that's just kind of my personality anyway. I'm always looking for certainty. It's part of my
are you eating right now?
condition.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I thought you were munching on a chip.
No, I'm not eating at the moment.
At the moment.
I mean, yes. I will have to go get food at some point. But I mean, I might be able to turn this into a kind of big server for people to use. Right now, I can't because of my terrible internet. I did just buy a thing from Tyler and NAS, which may or may not help out with it. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But once I get that up and running, I mean, other people might be able to use it in some capacity, which would be good.
Sure.
Well, yeah, you're like a film librarian. If only.
Oh yeah.
But don't ask Joe. Don't ask Joe about the books. He's not read them.
And also,
but
don't ask me for.
He's like Joe is like. Joe is like this guy who owns this amazing video store. But I don't watch movies. He's the guy at the counter. He's like, I'm just here for, in that guy's case, to make a buck. In your case, it is whatever it is. Just don't ask him about it. He hasn't seen any of them, but he might watch them. He thinks they sound interesting.
Yeah. I'll shush you if you ask me for Fast and the Furious 5. I don't have that on my server. Not allowed.
Well,
jeez, Joe.
Doesn't matter. Fast and Furious or
Ryan
so much
fired up.
You're not watching either of them. So, hey, I've made peace, man, with the Fast and Furious love. Like I've said, they are what they are, and they do what they do better than anybody else that's trying to do something similar. There's a market for it, and there's nothing wrong with that market. There's nothing wrong with a Big Mac.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with chicken tendies.
I love Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore, and as much as I'm not supposed to say it, I don't like The Mandalorian. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I liked the first half of the first season, but I think that it's just full of fan fiction and fan porn and setups with no payoff. So, I mean, I'm very much in the minority, and I almost never like to admit this, but that's the truth. But that's okay. I'm okay with that. Like, I don't have to like stuff just because most people like it, So it's okay for you, Joe, to have a very unique and particular feeling about stuff.
Oh, yeah, I get that. Yeah.
No matter no matter who told you it.
Yeah, just don't preach that your way is the way. There I go, referencing The Mandalorian.
Yeah, it's the way.
Unintentionally.
See,
especially when what you're preaching came from someone else. But anyway, I digress.
Okay, that's fine.
But if you ever do watch any of this cool shit, let's talk about it. I'd like to talk about film if you would watch some of it. That's why we can't talk about it, Joe. That's part of it. I think that gets under my dander. I'm like, oh, cool. He downloaded Taste of Blood of Dracula. I'd like to talk to you about Taste of Blood of Dracula, but you're not going to watch it.
Okay.
So why download it? Tease me.
I would like to watch Stalker at some point, maybe in a week or so. I've got that high on my list.
In a week or so. Oh my God,
Well,
Joe.
whenever you get around to any of those hammers, just pencil me in so we can have a discussion. I'd like to talk. I'll talk about Hammer all day long.
Okay, Joe, do we literally have to force you to watch the stuff that you want to watch? I mean, like, seriously, do you and Ryan have to schedule dates to have conversations, and therefore you have a reason to watch it? It doesn't have to be for the podcast. It could just be a phone call between the two of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure. I kind of get stuff done whenever it's an assignment, but yeah.
I only watch movies when they're assigned.
No, it's not like I'm a college student who just needs to do his homework. I mean, I've got
Well, Malevolent movie. The last time you watched a movie from beginning to end by yourself, it was probably from Malevolent Movies.
I'm not sure. Maybe. I can't remember.
So
I
that's
have a bad memory too. I have a bad memory as well.
Well, if you get around to watching any of these movies that whatever, let me know. All right.
Okay.
Just let me
know.
We'll talk about it.
Okay. Sure.
Have a little discussion.
Okay. Okay, that'll work for me.
All right. I guess that's all I wanted.
Okay.
It only took an hour and 42 minutes to get there.
Yeah. That's all I want. Because don't forget the first stuff that Joe ever talked to me about. My first knowledge of Joe on this earth was I thought this dude was a hardcore film nerd because he was dropping Criterion, he was dropping Steelbook, he was dropping the right words, he was saying the right phrases to me. And I was like, hey, all right, this guy knows about Blu-rays and stuff. And then that's where it stopped. That's where the movie discussion stopped.
He knows about the Blu-ray.
Yeah. At the time, I was like, all right. Nice. A kindred spirit collector. Because I don't have a lot of those collectors. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of people in my orbit that are big collectors, to that extent, where like Severin, boutique label just had their sale this weekend. And I'm scouring YouTube for videos of collectors talking about what they bought. And I bought one thing and I'm like, that sort of Blu-ray collecting excitement because, some of these are the first time these titles have been released officially in America. And I don't have any of that on a personal. I don't know anyone personally that's like that. And so when Joe first came along, I was like, oh, another Blu-ray collector. But no. Plex Man came in and invested and took over his body.
Yeah. I just watched Hard Boiled a bit ago. That was good.
Well,
have you seen that before?
No.
You had not seen
awesome.
Hard Boiled before?
No, I haven't. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you watched The Killer yet?
No, not yet. No. That just got like a new release by like a bootlegger though that's supposed to be really good, so I got to download that.
All right. Well, when you download it, you watch it and let me know. I'm a big fan of The Killer. Talk about that all day long.
Okay.
Well, so Joe was a carny for 2 days.
Yeah, remember that? Remember when Joe was a carny?
Yeah. Are we just gonna probably split up the episodes, or is it gonna be one long episode? Or
I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. Huh.
Oh boy.
Either way, it'll be fine.
Oh yeah.
Well,
hopefully somebody will like it.
Well, and there you can listen to the episode.
I mean, it really depends. Because it's like
Joe, you don't listen to our shows. It's okay. You don't.
Yeah.
Just remember what we said earlier about 2 hours ago. Don't lie just for the sake of posterity. You don't listen to our shows. Very rarely do you do. Maybe I ask you to for something to dig something up, but you don't. You don't casually for your own enjoyment listen back to this stuff, which is a whole nother episode we have to devote to. We have to do like an onion series of episodes where we talk about the Plex and the data or movie collection. We have to talk about how Joe doesn't listen back to the own stuff he creates, why he needs to be constantly inundated with sound of podcasting and whatever. Well, and, to touch on it, I mean, I don't want to give too much away, Joe, because I don't know where you stand on it. It's been a little while since I've heard about it. But you did mention in the trial series that there was a project you were in the midst of working on, and I'm assuming you haven't touched it in a while. Will we see that?
Yeah.
Will it see the light of day?
I mean, that's the big issue with it, is I don't want to go back in and listen to it. I'd like to still release it, yeah.
Okay.
But you don't want to go and edit it? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's like, it's...
Well, my understanding of the editing Joe wants to do is correct me if I'm wrong, assuming that the audio doesn't drop out in parts of it, you just want to just remove, background noise, line them up so that they're in sync, trim the beginning, trim the end, and just slap a theme song on there. Am I right or wrong?
No. I mean, the last time we spoke, you can, I'm gonna go back in and do the whole thing, listen to the whole thing.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, and that's what you should do, because you never notice what might have happened, especially if you can't hear yourself in your headphones. So it's always good to go back and listen. But I mean, you could just drop it as is, and you'd probably be 99% there. So what's keeping you?
Just going back in and listening to the whole thing.
Like, so
well, and it's like once I release it, I'll kind of have to do one every week for sure. Or every 2 weeks or whatever.
You don't have to subscribe to anything. And that was hard for me when we first started doing. I'm still bummed out that Malevolent Movies, the show on YouTube, is basically done. But it's because I know what it takes to do it. It takes literally 200 to 300 hours of work.
Yeah.
And there's probably maybe 20 to 30 people outside of our friend group that's watching those things. And it hurts. It bums me out because I think we're funny. So I either do one of two things. I accept that that's what our audience is, and I have no expectations moving forward, or I acknowledge that that's what it is, and I do what's best for me. And unfortunately, it's not good for my health to sit there and force myself to edit those things, especially under a schedule, because I get no satisfaction out of it. And that's not true. I get a little bit. I like watching back. I love watching the old episodes, but knowing what went into it, it bums me out because it's a lot of work. And unfortunately, my expectations are I do want people to watch and listen. It's not just for my friends.
Yeah, we're not in a vacuum. We don't make stuff. I don't do plays. I don't do movies for them to not be watched. It sucks.
Yeah.
We can understand why in the whole thing, or there's so much content. We can understand that and still be like, this fucking sucks. And it does. When you work on anything and you put any effort into it, and then it's a project you like, that makes it even worse. When it's something you're kind of meh about, it doesn't, it's like, well, whatever. But when it's something you like and you put effort into it and there doesn't seem to be an audience, or you're doing a play and they're like, well, we got a quarter of the audience filled tonight, which is like 30 people, and you've been rehearsing the fucking thing for 2.5 months.
Yeah.
You're lying to yourself if it doesn't bother you. If you're like, well, I'm only into it to do it. No, you do it because you're doing it for the audience. And you hope the audience likes it, but ultimately you want it to be seen. Nobody makes a movie for it to languish. Nobody makes YouTube videos for no one to pay attention to them.
And a nice recent equivalent to what Ryan and I are talking about is I was a little bummed out by the output from fans on the last episode of the trial series. I just assumed we'd have a ton of comments. People just wanted to know what they thought. Like, they're bummed out that you took the plea, or they like that you took the plea, or just some jokes and stuff like that. And not even all of our regulars commented on it, but I think everybody's watched it, and that's okay. Like I'm not upset that they didn't. I had an expectation that just wasn't met, but that doesn't mean that I don't want to do The Man with No Brain, because the editing for The Man with No Brain is mostly the length of the episode itself. Whereas with Malevolent Movies, it takes me probably twice as long as the conversation is. So I could be putting in 6 to 8 hours, and that's a while. But I really like watching those movies and talking about them. I don't necessarily like how sometimes things get a little hot and heated on here, but I know that the time investment isn't that bad. It's not bad. So it's not going to stop me from releasing episodes of The Man with No Brain. You know what I mean? So it's like you have to make it what's yours. And I just thought, from what I know about your secret project, is it's you. It is very much you. And so I would hope that you would like to hear you be you.
I think I would enjoy it and enjoy doing it. It's like the editing, and then just being on, like, having the expectations then after.
You have to remove that. Take the expectations out. Don't do it for anybody else but yourself.
Yeah.
I do this because I like hanging out with you and Ryan. That's why I do it.
Yeah.
It's that's not a slight to the people who listen to this. It's just I do it because I like hanging out with you guys. Same with Malevolent Movies. I can't do Malevolent Movies as it was because it was asking too much of me. But Malevolent Movies as a podcast, it's even better because, one, I'm participating, but also it's 2 to 3 hours hanging out with you guys and just having fun. And you guys make me laugh all the time, and that's why I love doing it.
Yeah, I'm a fan. Even if the movie's a tough one to get through, I just enjoy talking about it. This is my bread and butter. I would love to be a talking head on Blu-rays too. And, there are people that pop up on documentaries like In the Search of Darkness. And I'm like, I should be there instead of you, man. You don't know nothing. And you're obnoxious. But that's right up my alley, man. I love talking about low budget and genre stuff and getting to goof on it and stuff. So I would do it even if there wasn't listeners. I mean, and I want there to be listeners. I would love for the channel to have a ton of listeners to, but at the same time, I really enjoy, malevolent movies quite a bit. I have a notebook dedicated to it. I keep my notes and I date them and I look back on them like, oh, remember when Joe tried to fuck us with Blood Diner and he shows a cult movie on purpose. Oh, remember that?
And you guys have literal trophies and awards to show
on my shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's fun too. So, but Joe, do you like your secret project, the individual that you've been working with? Do you like talking with them?
Yeah. They're good to talk to, and I think we have good chemistry, good energy.
Okay, but like, do you enjoy it in the moment?
Yeah.
Huh?
Do you enjoy it in the moment as you're doing it?
No, I do.
Yeah, so do it for that reason. I mean, if it's enough, do it for that.
Well, it's also like I don't. If it's not going to go anywhere, it's like I don't want to waste his time.
Well, it's
just like a bunch of little things in my mind. Yeah,
but you are the one that's making it go nowhere right now. No offense. That's just the cold hard truth. Is that you're stopping it from coming out. The expectation was never on them to do anything beyond join you as a second mic.
No, I know that. Yeah.
So I mean, again, hey, if it doesn't see the light of day, that's okay. Like that is fine. It's just all of this is in some way wrapped up together. It's interesting. Why would Joe go do the Carney thing? Oh, it's because it's family. Family's very important to Joe. Okay, what else is important to Joe? Collecting movies, but why don't you watch them? Like there's some through line that just it's very thin and narrow, but it slips through everything. There's something holding this meat corpse up. So we'll get there one day.
Yeah, we're mad scientists. We're mad scientists in a 50s sci-fi movie, and our science may make no sense. It may be all made up, but we're still using it, and we're still going to find the core of this monster. We're still going to figure out how to
get bat wings.
We're still going to figure out how to stop the grasshoppers from devouring Chicago, and that's the core of the Man with No Brain, and a few goofs in the meantime. But my internet breaking down.
No, you're
no. You're all good. You're all good.
We were all just reflecting.
That's its own character now. I appreciate that. That's its own character. The thing cutting out has become its own thing.
Yeah,
it just wants to interrupt a little bit. The mic does.
I mean, it almost won an award. I don't
get irritated as much. Yeah. I don't even get as irritated. I just go okay, and I just sit and I see the boxes go back and forth. I'm like, okay, Joe's talking now. Oh, Tyler must be talking now, and then I wait for the thing to pop up or a voice, and I'm like, all right, here I am again.
Yeah, I'm for some reason I decided to go back and look at because not as many people watch or listen to malevolent movies as they do The Man with No Brain. In fact, it's probably about 1/6 or 1/7 as many people. But I was curious, what is our most popular episode of malevolent movies? And it's fucking Christmas with the Dead.
Really?
Yes, that's frustrating. On the podcast side, not necessarily via YouTube views.
Oh, okay.
But on the podcast side, that has been downloaded the most.
I wonder why that is.
It's odd because that's like the middle of a competition, so it's like who knows? Maybe people are looking up Christmas of the Dead.
And it's a movie that's not. Yeah, that has no real. It's not a. I mean, it's got some names attached to it. So fans of those guys may search it out, but in general, nobody's clamoring to learn about Christmas with the Dead. It's not one of the more popular title that we've covered. So
the top
it's interesting.
3 are Christmas with the Dead, The Big F. And then Sleepy Hollow High. Like Sleepy Hollow High I get because we've done a lot of supplementary material on that and it's the oldest. But like for the Big F to be second best or second most downloaded, like why the fuck is the Big F there?
That's weird too. Maybe there's just a lot of people out there.
Some heat.
Maybe there's maybe there's just a lot of people out there that are looking for the episodes with the worst movies that we covered.
Could be.
Because I don't think, the Big F, we were all pretty much universally panned. We panned that one. And then
Joe's not even on that one. So like none of his fans are probably there.
So it's not.
Yeah.
It ain't coming from the Joe pond. So.
Bunch of Joe tadpoles.
Bunch of piranha just waiting to chew at Joe's belly.
Oh, and just a little bit of a goat leg.
I know Joe's feeling better because one, he's amped up a little bit, but also I hear the clicking again. So welcome back, Joe.
No. I am signing into Letterboxd to make the Malevolent Movies list. I forgot about that.
Wait, so like,
that's a good idea.
I don't know much about Letterboxd other than it's a place for like film aficionados to share what they watch and do. So do you need access to should you be using the Malevolent Movies Gmail account?
I think it'll just be fine through me. All it really is like people put up like fan lists of like different like podcasts or TV shows, and it's like here's everything they've mentioned or every episode they've done, every movie they've done an episode on. It's like a nice, easy, convenient way.
Would it be better if it was under the Malevolent Movies account or banner? I don't know. I'm asking.
It could possibly be. I could do it that way.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I would say, don't put it under a Joe Buckley or any individual. Put it as Malevolent Movies, because I listen to Pure Cinema podcast, and they do, they'll have Tarantino on maybe once or twice a year, and he between the three of them, because they're all obviously Tarantino, but the other two guys are very knowledgeable film people, and the titles they name drop are like rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat. So what they do then, because the fans can't write them down so fast, they will make a list of here's all the movies we either referenced or talked about, and then you can go right to their Letterboxd. You type in Pure Cinema or whatever, and boom, there's all the titles, and you can click on them and do whatever you will. If it's just a list of when they did the samurai movies, there was just a long list of martial arts and samurai films, and you could just pick and choose, if you just want a comprehensive list. So I don't think it would hurt to have Malevolent Movies. Here's a list of all the titles we've covered in case a fan of the Big F that exists out there that fucking loves the Big F and wants everything to do with the Big F comes across that list and it's like, oh, the Big F, what is this? Malevolent Movies. Okay, I got to hear this. Since we're doing more and more podcasts and we're getting more and more titles, we've got
I think it makes sense.
Decent list at this point.
Joe, I just created an account, so I'll share the information with you.
Oh, okay, cool.
Can you can you create like a company account or a business account or something, or is it just like personal?
I'd like to say it's just personal. I'm not sure. There could be a way to make a company account, but I haven't really seen anything like that on Letterboxd.
Okay. All right. Well,
if you follow us on Malevolent Movies, look for us on Letterboxd.
There you go.
Ooh, yeah.
Well, Joe, what a weird and wacky day this has been.
Oh, yeah. I woke up too early. I did an episode on the Carnies. I did an episode about Plex. I gotta go masturbate real quick.
Ugh. It just doesn't take long.
It's tough. I ain't spanked it in like 3 days.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's good for your cousin's house. I'm sure your cousin, what's his name? Zach. I'm sure Zach, if he ever hears this, will be appreciative. Real quick before we go, has Zach or any of these guys listen to you or Tad on the podcast?
Yeah, some of the family listens.
Does this guy Zach listen?
Yeah, he's listened to some episodes.
Is he going to listen to this one where we made fun of his family's carnival?
Probably, yes.
All right, I just wanted.
Now, just not to totally cover our butts. I don't want to be a societal contradiction here. Now, we don't actually think that the carnival is shit. It's totally scaled to what's happening there. And if you guys make money doing something that you like doing, and hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Like
95 years.
Yeah, don't let us take the piss out of you. We're having a good time. The big fascination is Joe Buckley went to work voluntarily. How the fuck did that happen?
Yep, you guys have something. You guys have some sort of power.
Yeah, abuse it.
I don't know if I'll be coming back. The drive sucks ass so hard.
Sucks ass.
Well, maybe once
hard.
A year. You look at it as a road trip. You look at it as a road trip. You're driving 4 hours to go to Wally World for 2 days. You just happen to do a little extra at Wally World.
Yeah,
you work the games, but it's still a vacation.
Yeah, I
Joe.
give people the cotton candy. Yep.
Yeah, it's still a little bit of a vacation for you. You had a road trip. You had a weekend trip. Not that bad.
Did you have fun with Tad?
Yeah, we had some fun. We were gonna go look at the arch, but we just ran out of time. We got up too late.
That sucks because I would have liked to hear that. I would love a Joe on the road episode someday where you and Tad or somebody, you go somewhere and you do some sightseeing and you take some pictures of tourist attractions and you report. We get the Joe Buckley report. What's the arch like according to Joe Buckley?
Oh yeah, what does the arch taste like? Did you give the Abe Lincoln statue a kiss?
Well, maybe so. Yeah. Maybe this fall, you and Tad get together and you drive to Salem, Massachusetts, which is the big, Halloween every year. It's a huge thing. So, and you report back to us, in October.
Yeah. I just want to see if I can find a witch maybe.
Well,
But it's just like some old lady with a wart on her nose, and I'm like, she's a witch! Burn her to death! Throw rocks at her head! Throw cinder blocks at her head! She's a witch!
well, don't tell us all everything. Don't you, in case you do it. Don't use all of it.
I understand.
I'm sure this would be repeated.
Yes, a little bit. That's okay.
All right.
People like the same thing over and over. That's why the Big Bang Theory is so big still.
Watch a little TV, Joe. Get caught up.
Yeah. That show Friends about the friends.
Yeah, they'd still be going.
Yeah.
I don't. You have no idea what you're talking
Seinfeld would still be going if they didn't quit.
about. I mean, that you can say that about anything.
Yeah.
The Titanic would still be going if it didn't quit.
Yeah.
People wouldn't have shot holes in it.
Joe's
It would
teeth
still
would
be
still be clean
floating.
if you brushed them. And
That's
that
funny,
Joe.
is called a
That's funny.
callback.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand. They're so clean. They're always so clean, except for a day or two, maybe.
Da-da-da-da-da.
There you have it. The Man with No Brain episode, the big 30 episode. Isn't that episode 30?
Yeah, I think I will split this into two. So episode 30 and 31, we'll do the carnival talk and then the post-carnival talk.
Yeah. All right. So we've hit the 30 and the 3-1, and we're just chugging along.
blazing along.
If you like the show, hey, let's do a little sharing. Let's share the show. Maybe
Every man with a pot belly, give him a link to this podcast, and I'm sure that he will enjoy it. He will enjoy it to his heart's content.
Do you know anybody with a Plex account that likes to download a lot of stuff? Send them this episode. Maybe they'll find a kindred spirit in Joe Buckley.
Maybe I'll get some new links. I'm always looking for new links.
There you go.
Share it with people with similar sensibilities. Don't give it to your mom.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know the audience. You've listened, you know who's going to hang with the Man with No Brain and those who are not.
I think my dad had to stop listening just because of all the cum talk.
Well,
that's
you have no one to
coming from
blame
you,
but
dude.
yourself.
No,
Yeah.
I understand. No, I'm saying I scared him off. Yeah, it's too fun for me.
Well, yeah, and all the references to you making love to his wife, i.e. your mother and your sister, and all the incestual things that you yourself prompt.
Yeah, the time
I'm sure there
masturbating
were
in
a
the
lot of
living room.
landmines. There were a lot of landmines for the patriarch of the Buckley family when it came to the No Brain. He finally stepped on one, and he's out. So
Yeah, when I caught him masturbating in the living room and shared it with the world.
yeah, so there you have it, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and we get many more adventures, hopefully, with Mr. Buckley as the days progress.
Ooh, yeah.